What is good, y'all? We are back once again. Hooper Soul, back from the Philippines.
Back
Uh,
from the Philippines.
we're back again. I'm Jacob. Uh,
And I'm PJ.
yes, sir. We are less than a month from the playoffs. The NBA standings have never been closer. But PJ, talk to the people. Tell them what we got to look out for with these last few games left of the NBA season.
So we're gonna look at the standings and who do we think is gonna go up and down, who's gonna make the play in, but that's mostly for the West. The East is kinda locked in. But yeah, like that's what we're gonna do today. Um I just want to say that we're gonna be recording in between a couple games, so there's teams that may go up and down. The
Yep.
Warriors just beat the Heat. The Lakers just went to overtime, and the Thunder and Pelicans game. The Mavericks and the Kings have not played yet, so we'll see what it will look like next week.
Yep. And Luca is questionable for that game. He may not
Oh
play
yeah,
that game. So we'll we'll know by the end of this recording if he's playing. But Luca may not play Kings Mavericks. Let me pull up the standings for the people. But PJ, while I'm doing that, what are the key? Walk the people through the key seeding changes that could be happening.
well, what happened yesterday is the Suns went down and the Mavericks went up just because they took that L. So right now they're 42-30. The Mavs are 42-29. If they win, they could rise above the Kings, and the Kings will also drop down. And they're playing each other, so that's the deciding factor right there. Who gets that sixth spot for today?
All right, I got it pulled up. And so the West is very close right now. The Pelicans have actually taken the fourth seed away from the Clippers.
Oh, I didn't see that.
They have the same record, but I'm assuming they have a tiebreaker of some sort over the Clippers. So the
They got to.
Pelicans, they got a what?
I'm gonna cut you off. They kind of have a tiebreaker today. If the Pelicans lose to the Thunder in this game right now, they'll go back down to fifth, and if
Yeah.
they win, they stay on top.
Wait. So wait, what's the tiebreaker? Wait, what?
Because the Pelicans and the Clippers are tied right now
Yeah.
in wins and losses.
Yeah.
So if the Pelicans lose, they'll drop down to the fifth seed.
Well, yeah, I know that, but I'm saying right now they're the fourth seed over the Clippers, even though they're tied. So they have to have a tiebreaker over them right now.
Oh yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm explaining about the game.
Okay. That's like, wait,
My
what?
bad if I made that complicated.
Oh, you're good. Uh, yeah, like you said, Kings and Mavericks also tied, and they're actually playing tonight, so that's gonna be resolved. Suns just dropped down. Lakers are currently in overtime with the Bucks, so they could go up to 40 and 32. And the big one, which is probably not going to be very consequential, but the Warriors and the Rockets, that 10th seed. The Rockets are only half a game behind the Warriors. Um, how do you feel about the odds? How do you feel about just the Warriors and the Rockets as a in terms of which team you would rather see in the playoffs and who's more deserving, maybe?
I mean, I feel like it's always been the Warriors. I think they're if they lose that playing spot, that's the first time that they missed the play or the playoffs.
Okay.
Um, I want to believe in the Rockets, but it's just like the Warriors just has been that team to do damage in the play-in and the playoffs.
Hmm.
I have high hope for the Warriors. The Rockets, for my homies that are fans of Rockets, I want to go with you guys and ride with you guys to see what you guys do in the play-in playoffs. But the Warriors is the one that has to stick it through.
Hmm.
I mean, Jalen Green has been amazing though.
They're on a 9 game win streak, which is what has even put them in this position to be half a
Yeah,
game behind the Warriors. Uh, so I mean, unless something crazy happens, they will very likely play the Lakers at least once in the play at some point in the play-in. whether it
Yeah.
be the Lakers climbing to the eighth seed and then having to play in the second round of the play-in or something like that. They'll probably have to play the Lakers and then uh, maybe one of Kings, Mavericks, Suns also. I don't think there's any. I think the only thing matchup wise I could think of between that's like super interesting between the Warriors and Rockets and those teams is that Steph Curry has taken his time to. There's a there's a moment in time where he has bodied and taken over a game against all those other teams, but
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's a team game. There's a reason the Warriors are still a 10th seed. So I don't know. I think this would be. I think this is definitely very interesting. Because I think the Rockets team is damn near like the opposite. It's like in the opposite end of where they are as a franchise. Like
Yeah.
the Rockets are just about ready to get on the come up. I mean, like all their veteran signings were kind of just like sign them for cap space sake and have some veterans on the team for
Hmm.
and the important part is the young players. It's the opposite for the Warriors. All the veterans are getting old. It's about time to move on. The young players are still there, but they're not really getting as much play time and all that as they should. So I think it's interesting that these are the two teams that are at the bottom of the West in terms of the play-in. So I mean, I think it'll be great either way because they both have really entertaining players. Um, but yeah, let's take a look at the East real quick as we just to get an overview. We had to pause, and then we ended up looking at the Lakers Bucks game for a little bit. It's going to double overtime, uh, and we've confirmed Luca is playing in this game. So we'll see how that goes. But we talked a little bit about the West. We can go back to it in a bit, but let's go over the East real quick. So Celtics still way ahead of everybody else. That's not going to change.
They're locked.
Yeah, the Bucks are in second. They are 2.5 games ahead of the Cavs for now. And then after the Cavs at 3-4-5, it's pretty close. It's very close actually. Knicks are only half a game behind the Cavs, and the Magic, surprise surprise, the fifth seed, only 1 game behind the Knicks, and 1.5 games behind the Cavs. So there's a world where the Magic get all the way up to the 3 seed, and maybe even the second seed. They're all 4 games behind the Bucks. I mean, anything's possible. They're most likely not getting there, but they're real close. So how surprised are you about the Magic be, possibly contending for the 3rd seed? Because I don't think either of us expected much out of them this season.
Oh no, yeah, they're pretty good.
Wait, I can't understand you. Hold on. Wait, I can't understand you.
You're good.
Oh, you're good. You're good there. I can hear you now.
They're young core just like the Thunder. Not as young as the Thunder, obviously, but they really did surprise me. I wouldn't have thought the Orlando Magic being the top, almost top four seed, not in the play-in,
Yeah.
top six.
They're as the Pacers are still figuring everything out. They are the 6th seed. They're 2 games behind the Magic, and I think we expected the Pacers to be where the Magic are right now.
Hmm.
Um, I said they're only 2 games behind. It's nothing crazy, but when we expected the Pacers to step up and step forward, I think the Magic have been the ones to shock us. Behind the Pacers, the Heat and the 76ers are almost locked from this 6 to 8 seed range. I don't think there's any way the Bulls, who are 5 games behind the Sixers, are going to take the 8 seed. And then the Hawks are 1.5 games behind the Bulls at the 10th seed. And they're pretty much locked into that because the
Yeah,
Nets are the 11th seed and they are 5.5 games behind. So really, the playoffs are set in the East. The only thing that could happen is an upset in the play-in. Maybe the Heat or the Sixers lose to the Bulls or Hawks or something like that. Other than that, it's pretty much set in terms of the teams that are here. It'll mostly just be the seeding. Um, but while we're looking at this playing stuff, PJ, I understand that you have an opinion about the play-in game. You tell the people.
So I was saying to Jacob, think yesterday, the play-in only makes sense if they're really close to the 8 and the 7th seed. Like in the West, in this scenario. Like, they're only 3 games behind. For the East, they're 5 games behind.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, if I look at the East, 7 and 8 would just be locked in for me.
Yeah.
The Bulls and the Hawks have no chance to hit the 8 or the 7th seed. But if you look at the West,
Yeah.
the Rock,
I
the
mean,
Lakers have the closest chance to getting the 8, 7, or 6 seed.
yeah.
I mean, the Warriors or the Rockets could climb up too, but that's when I would have the plan. And I assume they kept the play. They only had the play in because they eliminated the divisions. I didn't really look back and look at the rules why they changed it to play in, but I just assume it's because they cut off. If you're the first seed in the division, but you have a terrible like win loss, you'll still make the playoffs type thing.
I think one of the things that the plan was supposed to do, which I think it is doing when it's successful, it keeps teams invested. It keeps more teams invested at the end of the season. Like right now, if you were the Warriors or Rockets, you would just be saying the season's over. Uh, but now that the play-in's a thing, they're both fighting for the 10th seed
Yeah,
for a shot at the playoffs. So I think that's and it kind of at the same time naturally disincentivizes tanking by making you by giving you more of a reason to keep playing at the end of the season. So in that sense, it's working right now in the West because of the way that the the standings are shaking up right now. But I do get what you mean. Like when you go over to the East and the the ninth seed is 5 games back from the eighth seed. It's like, do we really have to have this play-in tournament right now? Like these, like,
yeah,
it's definitely not deserving. So I don't know. Maybe this season they could talk about some sort of I don't know. Be like you have to be at least 3 games, at least 3 games to the eighth seed to have it, um, to warrant a play-in, some sort of play-in tournament, and then I don't know. They'd have to go in depth about you know would their if they if the 10th seed doesn't qualify, then how do you do the play-in? Is it just the 8th and the ninth seed? I don't know. But I get what you mean, though. It does feel kind of
yeah.
pointless. It does feel kind of pointless with this. Because it's like nobody's expecting the Bulls, nobody's expecting the Hawks. They're just going. Like I feel like they would just they're kind of just done. Like you know what? I want to go home. I'm trying to hit my vacation. Like it's a long season. Just let me get out of here. So I don't know. I think I will say that I'm a play-in supporter. I think it's fun. It's just interesting. It's a cool little thing. I don't think it's detrimental to the game or anything, so I don't think it
No,
has to go. But I do think that if we were trying to make this what's it called?
makes sense.
If we're gonna try and make it more intuitive uh for all people involved, it would just make more sense if you didn't have to have I think even more so for the seventh and eighth seeds that deserve it. It's just more intuitive to not make them play another tournament. I mean, even if even if they do get upset, then it's like it happens. But it feels it doesn't feel right to them even more than the team that didn't deserve the playing spot. But when it works, like with the West, it's fire. Like this is
Oh,
cool.
definitely.
I mean,
I feel like
we're gonna get an extra game between Kings, Mavericks, or Suns, and then the Lakers, Warriors, or Rockets. Like that's fire. That's cool. But it does feel like just for for in for the team's sake, you don't have to make them play this extra game, extra 2 games, whatever it is. Um, But yeah, let's go back. I think we can go back to the West now, because that is, like we've been saying, the more interesting conference. Uh, at the top, the good old Nuggets have sole possession of the first seed. They've done it for now, but they're up there. The
They are up
Thunder,
there.
Thunder are 1 game back. Timberwolves, 1.5 games back. That doesn't seem right. Whatever. It, well, Timberwolves are 1.5 games back. That's the top three in the West. Um, how do you feel about those three teams? I know you made some Anthony Edwards predictions in the past, so curious how you feel about them uh, with Carl Anthony Towns not playing due to injury right now.
Well, Anthony Edwards is looking like Michael Jordan right now. He got one of the best dunks of the year already.
Yeah,
Um, in a sense, Cat with Cat along with the team, yeah, they were winning games. But Anthony Edwards led Timberwolves team. The Timberwolves are looking pretty nasty right now.
yeah.
This, the lights are all on Ant to take the Timberwolves to the first seed. I believe he could do it. It's going to be really tough, but in my head I predict that the Thunder's going to drop.
Mm,
I think Timberwolves are going to go up. With the Nuggets, it's really hard to push them out the first.
mm.
So that's what I'm saying right now. Like that's what I believe in the Anthony Edwards led Timberwolves.
I mean, I think that I forget. I think there was a game recently where it happened, but the Thunder not having a center, a true center, true big man type of player is definitely hurting. It's hurting them
It's hurting a
quite
lot.
badly. It's hurting them pretty badly. Because Chet, as good as Chet is, he is a skinny guy and he is susceptible to being dominated by on the rebounds, on the boards, by other bigger big men. So, and I back in the I don't know what was it, a couple months ago at this point. Uh, we had our tier list of the pretenders and the contenders and all that. We had the Timberwolves as pretenders. Now, I think pretenders is a bit harsh. Do I still think they aren't going to win the championship? Yes, I still don't believe in them to that degree. But
They're probably missing a piece. Trade Cat.
I hear. But I do think that the Thunder have the confidence, people's confidence in general in the Thunder to do well in the playoffs has definitely gone down. Because I think that once they go up against a team with a dominant big man or just a big man in general, that's good at the game. It might be the game will get much much more difficult for them. Just real quick, and oh, it's 3 months ago. Never mind. I was gonna say something about Anthony Edwards and his stat line, but it's not correct. But Anthony Edwards has been playing incredibly since
Very good.
since the cat injury. It's a I mean if he can play this well, uh, if he can play this well in the playoffs when Cat comes back, then they're onto something. The in games, I have this at least. This isn't exactly correct, but Anthony Edwards in games without Carl Anthony Towns this season, 11 games. This is throughout the whole season, not just this stretch of games recently. He's averaging 29.5 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. He's playing,
Okay.
he's balling. He's playing like the number one option, which he is. He's playing like he will be their franchise for the next however many years. So I'm very curious to see what happens come playoffs. Once Cat comes back, once he starts playing against playoff defenses, every night. But I still don't. I just keep seeing the Nuggets at the top, man. I just keep telling myself there's no one's stopping them. So who knows? Maybe Gobert can pull something out. I don't think he can. I I'm pretty sure Jokic has already dominated him before.
Oh yeah.
He has something for everybody. Uh, but I think we've talked about both of these teams a fair bit. The Pelicans and the Clippers. Right now, I believe the Pelicans are playing. But the Pelicans and Clippers are currently tied, fourth and fifth seed, exact same record. Uh, you had originally said that you were unfamiliar with the Pelicans game, and they have now, for now, taken the fourth seed from the Clippers. So tell me how you feel about. I mean, regardless of their fourth or fifth seed, whoever's which is which, they'll probably, if that's how it is, they'll end up
They're
playing
fifth
each
seed
other.
now.
Yeah, they'll end up playing each other in the playoffs. So I'm curious how you feel that might go, uh, if that is the matchup.
If that's a matchup,
Yeah.
well, it's kind of crucial right now with Brandon Ingram out.
Hmm.
But I
I'm.
think that's gonna be a fun matchup to watch because you got Zion. I'm pretty sure the matchups would be like Zion versus Kawhi, and they're both extremely strong.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't expect that in Kawhi, but he's really strong. That's what a lot of NBA players say.
Mm-hmm.
You got Trey Murphy, and then what's his name? Herbert Jones. He's up and coming.
Yeah, I already thought that the Pelicans were a cool team. I liked them. I liked the dynamic between all the players and the way they played off of each other.
Yeah,
Um, I feel like this would be a really, really fun playoff series because uh, I feel like did they have a playoff series already? I feel like, or no, was that
the
against
Pelicans. I don't think so.
I think it was against the Suns. It was definitely against the Suns. But watching them play against the Suns without I think they didn't have Zion that time. That was fun. I
In the playoffs.
think so. Or at least the play in.
I don't.
It was at least the
I don't
play in.
remember the Pelicans being in the playoffs since AD.
Pelicans playoffs. Hold on. Yeah, it was fucking 2021, 2022. First
Who's
round.
on that team?
First round.
Really?
Yes, I'm looking at it right now. I guess the Sun. You don't remember the Suns one? When Jose
The
Alvarado was
21,
ripping CP?
22.
You don't remember that?
Oh, I know the game you're talking about. I didn't realize that was the playoffs.
Bro, that was
Let me see.
bro.
The Pelicans, they made it.
Bro, Twitter was going crazy. That shit was cool. Yeah, they didn't have Zion for that. It was just
Yeah, he
CJ,
was out.
CJ Jonas, Brandon Ingram. I mean, the core is damn near the same. Is definitely the same. They've just added some new pieces through like the draft and stuff. But as I said, I have a lot of fun watching this team. Uh so I would be excited to watch them against, if we can get Alvarado ripping Harden and then Westbrook, that shit would be crazy. I would really love Pelicans Clippers isn't like my dream matchup, but it would definitely be fun. Um,
Would be a
and
funny
shit,
little matchup.
everybody better be healthy. Shit, both both of these teams have players that just do not see the floor sometimes. They better both be there. I think the Lakers are about to win. I think they're about to win. Double
Yeah, they're up by
overtime.
2 with 1 second left.
Yeah, they're up by four. They're up by four.
They're up
It's
by
over.
4.
Yeah, it's over.
Oh, well, NBA Google, you need to fix it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. I'm on ESPN. I think I think Middleton
I-
had a bad game. So did Dame. So, this is Middleton's like second game back from injury. It is what it is. Giannis once
You're on
again.
ESPN?
Huh?
I'm on ESPN.
I'm on ESPN, bro. I'm telling you, I'm looking at it right now. 128, 124.
Oh, I see.
1.7
Yeah,
seconds. Yeah.
it's not updated on the main page, but if I look at the top, it
Oh, yeah, no,
shows.
no, I'm clicking on it. I'm on the box score and stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
No, but
Middleton.
yeah, getting back to the Clippers and the Pelicans, if if they were a matchup, I got the Clippers for sure. Everyone's healthy. Um, with the Brandon Ingram situation, I don't think he's gonna come back for the playoffs. So I'm gonna
Mm.
say I gotta go with the Clippers.
The funny thing is, all the recent Clippers stuff that I've seen, it's players on the team or it's Tyronn Lue, and they're all like, "We're soft. we're just a soft team. We have no identity. We're soft." That's all I've heard recently about the Clippers. I don't know
That's
what I
crazy.
don't know what's going on with them. I don't know if the they've lost two in a row. I don't know if that I don't know how much that means, but they're going through something. I don't know. I mean there's a few bit of games left. They could technically drop farther than 5. If the Kings or the Mavs go on a hot streak, they're both on a win streak right now. Kings have won 2 in a row, Mavericks won 4 in a row. One of them is going to keep it going. So who knows? Clippers might keep dropping. That might not even be a set matchup. Uh, yeah, I think I said this Pelicans Clippers game. They half these players in the hospital sometimes. So everybody better be fully healthy if this is a playoff. They better be healthy. Period. No matter who they're going against. But I just think that would be a fun series. I don't know. I haven't been able to find when he's coming back. When Brandon Ingram's coming back. Uh, let's see. It could have been worse. He's gonna be out 2 weeks, maybe 3. Hope is that as April starts to get going, he'll be back. So he seems like he might come back around the same time as like Embiid or Cat or something. So
Okay.
hopefully before the playoffs, but he might have to get going in the playoffs.
I
Um,
actually wanted to tell you earlier when you were talking about Anthony Edwards, without Cat. I mean, he's performed without Cat in the playoffs last year against the Nuggets.
okay, well
He's
we'll see.
proven a lot.
You know, he's a
Wanted to throw it in there.
okay. Oh, the Pelicans also lost today, so they've actually moved down to the 5th seed. They
Yeah.
did lose, so who knows? Listen, these seedings are going to keep changing. They're going to keep moving, and we're going to be here to watch it happen. The East. Oh, hold on. So the Lakers are now. Well, they're still.
43 and 30.
Is the game not technically over yet? So the standings haven't updated.
It's the end of the day.
Okay, I'll say because the Pelicans just moved for me.
Oh, the Pelicans move? Let
Yeah,
me just
I
refresh it.
don't know. All right, but anyways, they won their game, so 40-32 now. Um, I think. I
But
think the
like,
last
never
thing we could talk
mind. I said
about
43 and 30.
Last thing we could talk about for this. Um, the Heat and the Sixers we haven't really spoken about. So I know we said
The
that
Heat and Sixers.
the 7th and the 8th seed probably locked into that area. Maybe go to the 6th. Um, how do you feel about these teams? Because we all know who the Heat are. Uh,
Yeah.
we all know that they're playoff performers. The Sixers have been staying afloat. This was probably the lowest they could go, even without Embiid. Because Tyrese Maxey's that good. But they've stayed afloat. Uh, if there was no play-in, they'd be locked into the playoffs right now, pretty much. How do
Yeah.
you feel about these teams? Are these teams still how much of a threat are these teams to the Celtics, Bucks, Cavs types of teams that are sitting pretty at the top of the conference?
I mean, it all depends on Embiid, man. Embiid is a second round exit.
I mean,
Uh,
they had to get out the first. They're 8th seed. they're
in the
not
regular season, they look good. All of them look good. Kelly Oubre, for sure, Maxi. Tobias Harris is proving a lot right now with Embiid out.
Tobias.
But that's just a regular season. In the playoffs, if they all perform well in the playoffs, I know Tyrese Maxey can. Um, I know Kelly Oubre can. But if Embiid shows up looking better off his injury and strives to win, they can do it. I believe they can take it all the way if they beat the Celtics. You have to beat the Celtics and then maybe the Bucks after that. And then
Oh,
boom. I I, I want to say I have high hopes for the Sixers more than the Heat right now. I feel like the Heat
okay.
is kind of like confused on
Okay.
how to win again.
Hmm. I I mean, it's hard to say because I feel like with Embiid, the Sixers are probably a top 3 seed.
Yeah.
But it just feels bad because he's gonna be just coming off of injury. I mean, we have no idea what his rhythm's gonna be. He'll have a little bit of time to get right, but he's probably gonna have to play in the play-in. Like, that's just like an extra game. Maybe the extra game will help him. I don't know, but I mean, the odds are he's playing the Celtics or Bucks in the playoffs in the first round, and
Most likely,
neither of those teams are easy matchups for a big man. So I mean, Joel Embiid is so good though. Like, I think it's gonna be a fire playoff series if he's himself. Because I mean, shit, dude, the Sixers were on the brink of beating the Celtics. They were right there. They fucked it up. So, I mean, shit, dude. As much as I wanna be on the dark horse Sixers train so bad, but it's just we'll have to see what Embiid looks like when he comes back.
do
Then the
you
Heat,
think they'll ever go up seeds? Let's say the Pacers lose, the Magic lose.
it'll be. I mean, I think the highest they get is 6. I don't think they can go that high.
That's
Maybe
fair.
5. I mean, because if they're in range of 5, then they would be in range of 4, and they're definitely not getting to 4. They're definitely not
It's
getting to
a,
4. So
what is that? 5 games?
that's a lot of games though. How many games do you say are left? Like 11?
Uh,
Is that what you said?
so there's. I'm just basing it off the Celtics right now. So
Well,
maybe
the Pacers have 9 games left,
10 game. Oh yeah, 9 games then.
so it's
Because
somewhere in that range. It's somewhere in that range. They can't go up that high. That's too many games.
that's only if the Magic lose like 5 times in a row, and then the Sixers win 5 times more.
Nah.
Potentially they can hit. There's a potential in it, but
Yeah,
maybe six.
like
Yeah,
mathematically they can, but they're not going to. So like just being realistic, I think they could get to 6, but probably not to 5. Um, but yeah, that's the Sixers. For the Heat, I just kind of think it's like I mean I would never count them out, but just on paper, just looking at it, it's like I don't. They're just a dark horse. Like I don't really have much else to say about them. Like we all know what they are. Like it's not. I think the team this year is probably better than last year. I think.
I feel like it looks better,
I think it's
way
better.
better. Everyone's happy. No one's stressing.
Everyone's
They don't have
happy.
James Harden to weigh them down.
Oh, for this,
Um.
are you talking about the Sixers?
Oh, who are you talking about? My
I was talking
bad.
about the Heat. I was talking about the Heat.
Uh,
I think they.
on paper they look better. On paper they look so much better. But
Okay.
I don't think they're better. I really don't.
Wait, what? Okay, wait. No, you gotta elaborate.
On paper they look better. Like the player, the names.
Okay.
You got what's his name? Terry Rozier at point guard now. I
Wait,
didn't
is he still
realize they
injured?
signed Patty Mills.
Is he still?
Um, Tyler Heroes. He's here, but he's hurt right now.
I say everybody's
Duncan's
hurt, isn't it?
hurt. Jaime Hawkins is looking really good.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler is kind of all over the place, but we know how he is in the playoffs.
Hmm.
And Bam's doing his thing. It's just that if if Jimmy Butler and the Heat can get it together in the regular season, they wouldn't even need to be in the play-in
Yeah.
and worry about getting into the playoffs. That's like my thing. Like, do you lose on purpose just to play a play-in, to play harder in the play-in and in the playoffs? Might as well just like sit tight and don't worry about play-in.
I mean, there's no way they're losing on purpose.
And they're not losing on
That I don't.
purpose, but there's no way that the Magic's better than the Heat.
They in the regular season they might be.
Regular season for sure, but like,
Obviously, in the playoff experience is real, so obviously everyone would pick the Heat over the Magic. But I mean, they're up
yeah.
there, bro. Magic are they're knocking on the door, bro. They're up there, man.
And okay, so in the scenario, they look good on paper, but I know they can do really good in the playoffs. They just need to show it more in the regular season. I'm just not a huge fan of that.
Okay. Fair enough, I guess. Um, I think I think we covered enough teams and stuff. I think we got through the bulk of it. Um,
You don't think the Bucks? You don't think the Bulls or the Hawks are gonna make it?
no, and I have no reason to want them to make it. The Hawks don't have Trey, and the Bulls don't have Levine.
They don't have ball. What you talking about?
They
They
don't
don't
have
have
either of
Lonzo.
them. They don't
What
have
if
either.
Lonzo suits up?
Bro, they don't have either of them. There's no reason for me to want to watch them in a full playoff series. At least if the Sixers make it, they'll have Maxi and probably Embiid.
But yeah,
They'll have something like the way. I'm not trying to watch the fucking Bulls with just DeRozan and Vucevic.
they just re-signed Javante Green.
I don't care.
What?
I don't
He was
care
on the
not for the
legendary
playoff. I don't
Bulls
care for the
team of the
playoffs.
21-22.
I don't care for the playoffs. That don't mean anything to me. That's not gonna change my perception of them as a team in this play-in game. I don't want to watch. I don't watch either of those teams. If Hawks had Trey Young, then I'd be more willing. But I have no reason to watch them play the Celtics. The Celtics are gonna beat both. Would be destroy both of them. It wouldn't even be. It would be a formality. Like,
That's true,
like what? At least with the Sixers or the Heat, it's like okay, they might lose. Like there's a chance. There's a world where they lose.
especially he.
That's what I'm saying. Why would I? I'm not rooting for the Bulls or the Hawks like that. What?
Well, in a world where Lonzo Ball puts on his shoes and steps on the court, I'm watching
Okay,
that
well,
game.
we're not in that. We're not there yet. We're not in that game. That game doesn't exist yet. So,
I'm praying for it.
yeah, well, he did no. Don't risk it. Just wait till next season, bro. You gotta be as healthy as possible, brother. Please don't do that. Just let your team lose. Let them lose. Come back next season. Come back strong, and then you make a plan run. I think that's all the stuff that we're looking out for. At these with these standings of the last few games of the season. All right, y'all. Here's what we're gonna do. You know we love tier lists. You know we love ranking things. So we're gonna do that again. So we talked about all these playoff scenarios, but not every team is gonna be in there. So I thought, you know what? Let's figure out which teams have the brightest futures. Which teams that we think can make the playoffs next year, and which teams are exiting their windows. So I present to you the tier list of hopeful futures. So we have 5 tiers. This is subject to change. But for now, we have those that are title ready. All right, let me change this. Title ready for a long time. Title ready for a long time. These are gonna be teams that they really, as long as they keep their core together, they're fine. They will be contending for a long time. They will be good to go. We have
Yep.
win now. These are teams that they are in their window to win a championship, but they have to win now, as their is closing, either due to age or contract. Those with the promising future, they're not ready to win now, but they are on their way. We have the tier below that, which is at least they have picks or assets, which means they aren't really in any position to win at all, but at least they have something going for them. They have tools to rebuild. And then we have the tier, which means they have nothing. No picks, team is bad, everything's a disaster. So PJ, let's start off with we're gonna go alphabetical order. So we're gonna start with
Okay.
the Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks have their own for they're gonna have around one pick, one first round pick each year for the next 3 years.
Okay.
Trae Young and DeJounte Murray are both still there. However, that is due to change. So, what do you think about this team? Do you think that? I mean, they're definitely not in win now. So, really, it's just do they have a promising future, or are they like pseudo rebuild mode? And so, at least they have picks.
I think it's gonna be a promising future.
Okay.
One of the rookies. I think he's the only rookie. It could be another rookie. Jalen Johnson's really good.
Yeah, I was about to say Jalen
He
Johnson.
he's he's not the face of the Hawks. It's still Trey Young with co-star DeJounte Murray,
Yeah,
but
like
Jalen.
I think he could be like in the same tier of player as like Michael Porter Jr. type thing. Like I think he could be a super good number three on certain teams, or just straight up be a low tier number two.
I
Like
feel like
I don't
comparing
think
him to Michael Porter Jr. is like
I'm talking about his ceiling. That just in terms of the tier of player. I don't think he's Michael Porter Jr. I'm just
I would say his ceiling would be like Jalen Williams.
okay. That's fine. I'm just saying. Like I think he could be a really good two or three, low end two, high end three.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's all I was
Okay,
saying.
got you.
That's all I was saying.
My bad.
You good? You good? I should have clarified. So I do think the Hawks are there. They still have Trey Young. I really doubt they're trading him. Um, but they do. Wait, is John Murray under contract? What? How is that
Uh,
working? Because obviously I know there's been trade talks around him for a while. He's got a.
but
He
he
still
wants to stay
have.
in Atlanta.
Well, he's a free agent, so I mean that's definitely.
Oh,
So that's definitely part of why they were trying to trade him. But yeah, I'm finding them there. Boston Celtics. Where do you know where they are? They're going to be title ready for a long time. They have a young core. They have an organization
yeah.
that knows how to make moves and build a roster. Uh, they're just gonna be sitting there. The Jays are there.
The Jays.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
How long is Jason Tatum's contract?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's just gonna keep signing super maxes until he dies. I don't think he's moving anywhere.
Okay.
He's under contract for another year, and then he has a player option. So
Okay.
he's got. I mean, he doesn't even have to worry about contracts for a little bit. But yeah, they'll be fine. Uh, and the next team, 'cause I don't think we really need to dwell on the Celtics. The Brooklyn Nets.
Oh,
So let me read you Brooklyn's first round picks for the next 3 years. The first one is going to Houston. That's next year, or this upcoming draft. It's going to Houston. 2025, it's an own or a swap with Houston or Oklahoma City. And they have Phoenix. They have Phoenix as first, and then they have
mm.
and then they gave their 26 to Houston.
I saw a report. This is. It could be irrelevant. It could be relevant. I don't know if Brooklyn Nets traded anybody with the Houston Rockets recently, but apparently during trade deadline, uh, the Houston Rockets offered Jalen Green and I think two first round picks from
Yeah,
Mikal Bridges.
yeah.
I didn't. I did not know that. That shit flew over my head.
People have been trying to trade for Mikal Bridges pretty heavily. As far as reports go, so we don't actually know anything, but there's been multiple reports about multiple different teams trying to trade for Mikal Bridges, usually including multiple first round picks, and Brooklyn has declined all of them. He is still there. I think they were hoping he could be the face of the franchise for the upcoming years, and it has not panned out at all.
It's
Uh,
panned out.
he he's their best player right now, and his stats this year are pretty terrible.
Bad.
It's dare I say a disaster. The team looks awful. The the players are just not like it's ugh. Like the team looks like it could be fun, but Mikal Bridges as a number one option has definitely not been panning out. And they don't and they're missing two of their three next first round picks. Like I think they're an uh-oh. I think they're doomed. I think they're in a really nasty spot. I can't lie. I don't know what they do. Maybe Mikal Bridges figures it out fucking whatever he did this year, don't do it again. Because it just does not look good, man. It looks quite terrible. Uh, he's shooting 43% from the field, 37% from three, 20 points a game on 35 minutes. Like, as the number one option, it just looks awful. Like, people should be wanting him as a role player. The fact that they offered Jalen Green for him is really crazy to me. To move on that fast from him, I mean, like I said, I also saw that report. Cannot confirm its validity, but that's so crazy. And multiple firsts, like, damn. Now the Nets
I
are
mean,
stuck with him. So,
I feel like it's good that they didn't trade him because look how Jalen Green's doing right now.
well, of course, for the Rockets, it's good, but fucking the Nets, why would the Nets not take that? Why would they not,
Jalen Green in the first half of the season was terrible.
bro? Well, right, because Cal Bridges was much better.
Yeah,
But even for the picks, get your picks back. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Get your picks back. Like, at least for that. Like, even if Mikal Bridges was gonna be the guy, you still had no picks to build around him. Like, at least if you get Jalen Green, you get picks back, and then you can build around Jalen Green. But now you can't even do that. I think this team might be in hell for a while. Chicago Bulls, they have their own first round pick this year. They have a lottery protected Portland pick, which probably definitely going to be lottery. In 2025, they have their own pick if it's a 1 through 10, otherwise it's going somewhere else. And in 2026, it's a 1 through 8, otherwise it's going to someone else. And they don't have any second round picks. So, with our our good buddy Lonzo Ball and his health, and with aging DeMar DeRozan, and I think Zach Levine gonna be there? I don't know, but
So my theory is with the Bulls. The reason why I brought back Javante Green up earlier is if they re-signed him. My theory is, do they believe in the Alonzo Ball, Zach Levine, the DeMar DeRozan comeback? Because that was their starting five. It was Lonzo Ball, Zach, DeMar, Green, and in Vucevic.
hmm,
If they if if they do believe in that and Lonzo Ball comes back, they're not gonna go into rebuild mode. But
hmm,
that's all depending on Lonzo's health. If not, I'm gonna have to say it's either at least they have picks or assets, or for the Bulls.
ooh, and oh shit. All right, here,
I
let
don't think
me.
they have a promising future in Kobe White and Io does something.
Yeah. Hold on, let me here. I'm gonna pull this up. You won't be able to see it, but I can just tell you. So Zach Levine's under contract until 2026, where he'll have a player option. DeMar DeRozan's an unrestricted free agent this year. This is his last
Yeah,
year. Lonzo Ball has a player option coming up. Nikola
yeah.
Vucevic has 2 more years. Kobe White has 2 more years. Patrick Williams is a restricted free agent. And then Alex Caruso, I think, has 1 more year. I don't know why it looks like that, but
Okay.
and then Ayo still has some years on him, couple. Uh, I don't. I the team definitely does not seem like it's in contending.
Yeah.
This team, I feel like it's not even close. Like I don't think there's any move they could make unless they somehow signed somebody incredible. I don't even know who would be available, but I don't know how they're able to do it. My thing is, if they're gonna rebuild, they just need to do it already.
Yeah,
You
I
have to
mean,
do it sooner than later.
in the Bulls community, they were talking about we just need to rebuild now.
Yeah.
Um, apparently, Word goes around that Zach Levine might be traded this coming off
He was supposed to
season.
be. There was rumors of it this season.
This trade, yeah, but
Yeah,
I don't know what happened. I guess the GM is too like focused on the Balzac Demar
yeah,
De Balzac. Um,
yeah.
I think I know Nikola Vucevic wants to stay as a Bull,
Oh my god, this team is just
but
it was like a team made up of a bunch of like m- like mid tier number two options.
yeah,
That's what it feels like. I feel like it's just there's no one on this team that's really that good to be the guy. And so they just need to they just need to reset. So at least their picks for the future are top protected for them. I mean, so at least if they do commit to the rebuild, then it's much more likely for them to keep their pick. But even in 2026, if it's not top 8, they don't get the pick. Like it's they got to be really low like and like not get fucked in the lottery. Like it's kind of scary. Like, I'm gonna put them in at least they have picks or assets because they can still trade Zach Levine and Vucevic maybe and whoever else. But it is kind of scary though. I can't lie. Like, and
I just hope their off season's nice.
they're gonna need
I
a
want to see
couple.
what direction they're going for.
They're gonna need a couple nice off seasons because it doesn't look good. Cleveland Cavaliers is the next team.
Ooh,
They have their own pick in the 24 and 26, or Utah can swap it. So they're probably gonna get the worst of that one. And then 2025, Utah takes that pick from the Donovan Mitchell trade, and they have some second round picks.
for
So,
your tier for win now, is that for like they could potentially win in the finals or
um, I mostly just meant like they have an opportunity to win right now. Like they
okay?
could.
Yeah, I keep the Cavs at win now.
I was like, it could be
Um,
win now or like one move away, like that type of area.
okay,
That
because
because that's kind of what
the
win now means to me.
my thing with the Cavaliers, they pick up players like they picked up Imani Bates, and I think he's still in the G League, and I feel
Oh
like
yeah,
that
they
would
got
be a
him.
perfect spot right behind Max Struess.
Mm-hmm.
It's because I've said this in podcasts before, episodes before,
Mm-hmm.
where like they already have their four pieces set. Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell,
Mm-hmm.
blank, and then it's like Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. Like
Yeah.
Imani Bates would have been that third,
Yeah.
but in that mix up at being number three is it's a tough situation. So right now it's like I want to put them at win now because I can't see them as promising future.
Yeah. I agree. Uh I would put them right here. Win now, one move away. Cause who knows? Maybe it's not even one move away. Maybe it's 1 year away. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because the team is still really young. The core is still young. I mean, even Donovan Mitchell as like their splash player, he's still like he's not old.
no,
He's still good. So I think this team could be has definitely has potential. They have Donovan Mitchell for at least one more year, and then he has a player contract or player option. So I feel like before they still have a little bit of a window before they have to pay Evan Mobley that big money. Next, the Dallas Mavericks. Now this is an interesting one. We're the Dallas Mavericks.
ooh,
So we've already seen last year the Mavericks prioritized getting their pick instead of going for a play-in spot when they pulled Luca and Kyrie at the end of the season. Like I feel like they're definitely a tier above promising future because they have their guy. They're starting to build a better team around the guy.
yeah,
And then they get another season to gel and maybe pick up some better backups for Luca and Kyrie. And then I think they'll be good. I mean, like I said, we've already seen this team with Brunson on it go to the Western Conference Finals. So, and they need to fire that. Maybe the one move away is firing Jason Kidd. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's not a player. Maybe it's just get a new coach.
Either Jason Kidd, Kyrie, Tim Hardaway Jr. Who knows?
Golden State. This one's very
It's a
interesting.
tough one
This one's kind of
because
nasty.
they could be all five.
This one's kind of yeah. There's a world there's a world where they could have been in any tier. So here's what it is. It's just kind of I'm the more I'm looking at it, the more scared I am. But so next year, I'll say this year, their pick is top 4 protected. Otherwise, it's going to Portland. Top 4. It's and if Portland, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's no way they're getting the 4th pick, but who you'll never know, I guess. But if they keep the pick next year, this year, then in 2025, they only keep it if it's the first pick, the
Dang.
first overall pick. And then in 2026, if they still haven't given the pick, then it's just not protected and Portland just takes the pick. So they'll have one first round pick. So they won't have very likely they won't have their next first round pick unless it shoots all the way up to 4 somehow. And then they'll own their 25 and 26. And
Okay.
then they'll have they won't have all of their second round picks either. So draft picks not really an option here. At least not for this upcoming draft. Clay's a free agent. Chris Paul's still under contract. Wiggins is under contract. Draymond Green has 2 more years and a player option. Kuminga only has 1 more year until he's a restricted free agent. Same with Moses Moody. I mean, what do you what do you
Well,
do?
apparently the rumor is that Clay's is gonna resign for. He's gonna take a pay cut for his next contract. Um. Well, it depends. It depends if the Warriors do a fumble and they draft not a good player. Not saying James Wiseman wasn't a good player back then, but if they do something like they had James Wiseman and not look good, then that's gonna be an uh-oh. But if they draft a good player, I'd put them at 1 win now.
Ugh.
Because in a sense, they are title ready. Like Clay's looking good from the bench,
Oh man.
but I don't want to put him up there. But you got you got the Nuggets and the Celtics up there. It's either win now or uh-oh for me. The more that I think about it,
That's
because
so funny. Oh shit. Oh my god.
I don't want to even give them like a handicap tier. It's it's, it's
Oh
between
my
those two
god.
for me.
Okay, so I think holy shit. So just to bring it up, Steph Curry is 35. Klay Thompson is 33. Chris Paul is 38. Wiggins is 28. Draymond Green's 33. Gary Payton II is 31. Kevon Looney's 27. And then everyone else worth a damn is 23 or 21 or younger. So it's just, they're in the nastiest limbo I've ever seen. Because there's no way they ever trade Steph Curry, right? Steph Curry's not
No,
leaving. Steph Curry's not leaving.
First, um,
What are you going to
uh,
do with Chris
I'm not saying
Paul?
like
I think the movable pieces to me, I mean, either Klay Thompson walks or he just signs for a pay cut, which is, I think
yeah,
that's fine in my eyes. Chris Paul, I I think you have to get rid of Chris Paul. Chris
what's
Paul,
his contract?
it's 30 million. It's 30 million next year. Like I feel like there's got to be a better way to spend $30 million. there has to be a way where you can turn that $30 million into something more beneficial to your team. Like there just has to be. And then maybe also Wiggins. I mean, he was struggling earlier. I don't know if he picked it back up. Nobody's gonna take Draymond. You have to keep Draymond just because no one's taking him.
I think Draymond's gonna stay.
Like I feel like I low key feel like it's a win now. I kind of feel like it's a win now, but they are so close to me just saying just blow it up. Cause I I feel like it doesn't even make sense for them to want to rebuild next year, cause they don't even have their first round pick next year. So it's like you may as well just come either you try and commit or you're just full sending it now. Like I don't know.
I
you
think they're gonna full send it every year till three of them
I was gonna
retire.
say because Steph Curry still after this year he still has 2 more years on his contract. I feel like as long as Steph is here, you may as well just keep trying, right?
Yeah,
Oh my
because
god.
Curry's not gonna leave. Like apparently, like back then, Curry wanted to play in with the Hornets because his dad
Oh
played
right,
there.
yeah.
But he doesn't want to do that anymore because he wants to stay a Warrior. So Seth Curry, I think he's already a Hornet, is living up to his father's destiny.
His father's destiny. Okay, I think I have to put them in. I think considering just that they have Steph Curry, I think I have to put him in win now. That's so
Yeah,
crazy. Okay, that's so
that one's a
crazy.
difficult one.
That's crazy. Here, I'll pull up the contracts real quick for the people. I should have had it up earlier, but like I say, Steph Curry having these 2 years, I feel like that's incentive enough to want to try, especially because Draymond Green, his contract also ends at the same time, and then he just has like, and also Wiggins, and they have player options the year that Curry becomes a free agent. So if they want, if Steph Curry says I'm not coming back, they could just be like, all right, either I'm leaving or I'm just gonna take my money and you can trade me to some shit team and I could be a salary dump and you guys can get picks. So I feel like while you have them under contract, the only reason you would move them is to get a better player, and specifically talking about Wiggins and Chris Paul. I feel like
I don't think they're gonna do.
if you have them, you may as well just go for it.
Yeah,
Man, that's crazy. All right, who next? The Houston
Houston,
Rockets. I like this. Uh,
promising future.
all right, so they have a really fucked up. I'm pulling this one up because they have a really absurd, they have a really absurd pick situation. So this year's draft, if it's a 1 through 4 pick, which it probably won't be, it's going to Oklahoma City. But they have Brooklyn's pick. What is this? It says least favorable of own if 5 through 30. LA Clippers, Utah if 11 through 30, and OKC to like the uh, this shit this shit looks insane. I don't even know what all this means. I just know that their picks for the next like 3 years are going to Oklahoma City, but they're protected. But they also have Brooklyn's picks. Like earlier when we were talking about the with Brooklyn not
Yeah,
having picks, this is where all the picks are. This is where all the picks are. So and Houston has some second rounders from Oklahoma City. It's just a lot because they've done some
well,
crazy shit.
yeah.
So
For me, I'm locking in on promising future.
yeah, I feel like that's the easiest. It's just they have some picks. They have good. They're having some good young players. I'm fine putting them there. I think they're definitely in a better spot than those teams below them. We got the Pacers. Let's see. They have their first round pick in 2024 and 2026 are like very top protected, like top four. Otherwise, they're going to Toronto. That Pascal Siakam trade. They will
Yeah.
not be. They will most certainly not get a top four pick. They will not even be in the lottery. So, are we, do you think they're going to be? Is this a win now team, or are you putting them in promising future? Do you think that they need to do what? What do you think they need?
I mean, they own the 2025 pick, but that's
Yeah,
still another 2 season or season away. Um,
I
Kind of
think
tough. I'll say win.
I think they deserve. I want to say that the team can be good enough for win now. Um, but I don't know. I don't know if I'd no. Yeah, I'll say because I feel like I didn't know if I would necessarily say they're one move away. I think that they're one of the 1 year away teams. Um,
I feel like they're one move away.
they could be. I'm fine putting them there. Uh, and I think they're probably on that higher tier than the promising future teams.
Yeah,
The LA Clippers. Oh boy.
win now.
So
Isn't that win now?
so
Oh, sorry. Let me hear you explain.
no, you're good. You're good. They're pretty much getting the worst pick out of every trade here. Like all through all the swaps, they're getting whatever the worst pick is. I think that's what it is. For the next one, two, three, four, five. For the next 6 drafts. The next 6 drafts. So while I do agree this is a win now team, I just want to tell you how bad it looks. So next year, Paul George has a player option.
Yeah,
Kawhi Leonard's under contract for 3 years. He's 32. James Harden's a free agent. Norman Powell's here for 2 more years. Zubac, Terrence Mann here for 1 more year. Russell Westbrook is a player option. I do think this is a win now team, but holy shit, they are they're one move from they're one move from If we're going the
they're
other way,
basically in the Warriors situation right now for me.
if they're we might need another tier. It's I think we might need another tier that says win now or because I think both the Warriors and the Clippers are really
In the
are
same boat.
I think
Yeah,
they really are. I think it's over. Here, we'll do this. This is one move away, or one move slash year away. This is win now or else. Cause there is no future for this team. There's nothing promising about what's going on with this team. It's just you it all the eggs are in. Like all the eggs are in the basket. There's no more eggs to allocate. Like we are in. Like if this team doesn't work out and they try to run it back for another year or two until I don't know, Kawhi is only 32. He has 3 more years on his contract. I mean, Paul George is 33. James Harden's 34. Even Norman Powell's 30. Like it's not this team doesn't have too many years left. Like I don't know how they're gonna get. I don't know how they would get more pieces or anything like that, but it really doesn't look that good. I'll be honest. It's a little bit
it
scary.
doesn't.
It's a little bit scary for them. Milwaukee Bucks, 2024. Either they own it or the New Orleans Pelicans will swap it. 2025, it goes to New Orleans if it's 1 through 4, or New York if it's 5 through 30. In 2026, New Orleans can swap the pick. In 2027, New Orleans takes the pick. In 2028, if Portland has conveyed a prior first to Chicago, they take the pick. In
Okay,
2029, the pick goes to Portland. And in 2023, it just says own or Portland. So I don't even, I'm assuming that means that Portland takes the pick, or it's like a swap. So for the next 6 years, 7 years, for the next 7 years, the Milwaukee Bucks may have a grand total of 2 pick swaps, maybe 3. If there was
yeah.
ever a team in win now or else, it's this one.
I mean, you have the right to say for it.
I feel because like I said, it's there's no picks to build off of. You're most likely getting picks that are going to be at the end of the round of the first round, mid late.
And you have Giannis for 2 more years, right? Or like three? I know he did an extension.
Let me show this one. Look, 'cause this one's nasty. So Giannis is here. He has a player option. So he's 3 years and then a player option. Dame has
Okay.
2 years and then a player option. Chris Middleton has 1 year and a player option. Brook Lopez has 1 year. Bobby Portis has one and a player. Pat Connaughton has one and a player.
Okay,
Gian,
when nowhere else.
Giannis is 29. No, he's not old, but we know what kind of game he has. He's very physically imposing. His athleticism is a big part of his game. Him getting
Yes.
older is never a good sign. Damian Lillard's 33, Chris Middleton's 32, Brook Lopez is 35. All of which have had, all of which are showing decline in one way or another. They have to win now. I don't know what else they could even feasibly do to improve the team, but I think they just have to win now. I don't know what happens once Chris Middleton leaves. That's 3 years in the future though, or well, he has a player option in 2 years. I definitely think he's gonna take it. I don't even know what happens if Brook Lopez leaves. If he just retires, he's
I think he's gonna retire Buck.
he's their he's been the perfect starting center, and now they have to replace him. Be with dedicating all this money to these people. Like I don't. There's a phone Minnesota. I think Minnesota can go in the top tier. I think
We're moving
Minnesota.
away.
I think Minnesota can be a contender for. I think they're set to contend for
Oh,
for the
really?
future. I do.
Dang.
They have
I didn't
Cat.
even
Well,
put
not
them there
Cat.
yet.
Well, they have. Here's how I see it. Right. They have Anthony Edwards. You've called Anthony
Yes.
Edwards the
Michael
next
Jordan.
Michael Jordan, correct?
Right.
All right. They still have Cat. Cat on a tradable contract. Somebody, I could see Cat being a part of a blockbuster type trade. You know what I mean? Where you trade Cat for another player,
Yeah.
and then maybe like you said, maybe the fit just isn't right. But if he goes somewhere else, then he fits better there. That type of thing. He could get traded. They have nobody's really the only person, only two people that won't be under contract next year. Monte Morris and Kyle Anderson. That's it. Everyone else is coming back next year. Karl Anthony Towns is locked up for hella long. Anthony Edwards is locked up for hella long. Rudy Gobert has a one more year on a player option, and they have two of their next three picks in the first round. So they could make another move if they wanted to.
I want them to make a
They
move.
could like
That's why I'm.
I feel like the team I feel like Anthony Edwards has shown he's good enough, and the team has found their identity to the point where I feel like you could just, I'm willing to say that they could be a contender. Now, this could age horribly. They could be absolutely dog ass in the playoffs, but I feel like this team is good enough to be a contender at least soon. Like at least soon. That slash soon right there. I think it could be soon. Because unlike these other teams in one move or 1 year away, the only team that's sniffed the top seed is the Cavs, and that's because they're in the East. Minnesota's
Yeah.
a top seed right now. They're there now. They could do something now.
It's just when you put them as a contender, it's not really moving the needle for me as much as I really do like how the Timberwolves look.
Well,
Just Cat
the way I see
destroys it
it,
for me.
like even if the Nuggets and Celtics are like that good and like that set, it's like there's got to be another team that can be up there. Like there has to be. There's no way that the only two teams that are going to be that are going to be like making deep runs in the playoff are going to be those two. There's got to be somebody
Well,
else. And I know we're waiting for these other teams to make the move or get there, but I feel like the Wolves, they have everything they need to be there. Like there's question marks on how you get there with the other teams. I feel like it's pretty there's enough assets and talent
yeah.
where even if they don't make a move, they would still be near the top. That's how I see it.
I don't know. It just feels nasty to me to put them there. I feel like if there was another East team, that would make it to
This.
the top,
There you go.
then maybe
How about that?
I'll slide that.
There you go. How about that? How about that? Top seed for a long time or soon.
No, then now you're kind of discrediting them from winning a championship.
Though they don't have to, bro. We're talking about 3 years in the future. The Celtics haven't won a championship either. What you mean? Those were the only team that won last year was the Nuggets.
I just feel like with the Celtics, it makes sense. Their starting five right now is going to stay that way for a while. Um,
I could say the same thing about the Timberwolves, and if it does change, it's to get rid of Cat.
I'm on that one. I'm on that train.
Okay, then. Then what's the problem?
All right, fine. We'll put Timberwolves on
What's the
top.
problem? Hey, they
To
can
me,
stay
it's
at the
just one
bottom.
move away.
Because no, but even just to boss say it's just to be a top seed, regardless of if they move Cat or not, they're gonna be a top seed
Yeah.
in my eyes. Because Anthony Edwards is that good, and they figured out their
Mhm.
identity. The Sixers, all right, so they have their pick this year.
They have their own. Yep.
It's 1 through 6 protected next year, and then 1 through 4 protected. Oh no, and then it's 1 through 4 protected if they protected it the year before, and then it is the otherwise they get like the lowest pick between like 4 teams or something. So
Okay.
their cap situation, Embiid is there for the next 2 years, and he
hmm
has a player option. Tobias Harris, Buddy Hield, Nicholas Batum, Robert Covington, D'Anthony Melton, Kyle Lowry, Kelly Oubre, Cameron Payne, Mohamed Bamba, Kenyon Martin are all free agents next year. And Maxi's a restricted free agent.
Okay.
Everybody could be gone next year. Everyone could be gone. Everyone could be gone. Question is, do they have what it takes to be? Could this team with Joel Embiid be good enough to be a top seed for a long time? That's really what I'm looking at this point. Looking at who else is up here in the East, this team might be the team behind the Celtics every year. It might be. I'm on the verge of moving the Cavs up, but like this is nasty. Like that's really where we're at with the East, bro. Like it's fucked up.
Uh, bro,
We might have to put the Sixers up there. We really might.
we they
They
have like a 50-50 scenario. The team wants to stay with Embiid, or the team wants to leave. So
I mean, like I said, Embiid is there for at least 2 more years, and then he has a player option. So, but literally the only people returning next year are Embiid, Paul Reed, and then Maxi is a restricted free agent. That's literally it. Everyone else is gone. Everyone else is a free agent. I mean, they could obviously bring people back, but like
they
they
could
could.
potentially lose Maxi too
No,
if
there's
they
no.
sign.
They'll throw a bag at him. It's restricted. They could just match,
Yeah, they could just match. But imagine a bag so big.
dude. No. This team is gonna look so. It could. I mean, maybe they just re-sign everybody to like, either low, maybe lower. If you get Harris back on a lower deal, that's not even that bad. You know what I'm saying?
Should we throw them in win now or else? Because of
No,
that.
no, they have so much cap space
Oh, I didn't realize how much cap space they have.
because they're gonna have 3 people on the team. There's not gonna be anyone here. They're gonna have cap space by default. There's no one on
I
the
can't.
team.
I can't think of players who want to play with Embiid.
It could be, bro. They doesn't even have to be with Embiid. It could just be, do you want a starting spot? We have 3 players. It could be anybody.
I feel like Uber is gonna resign.
Hey, maybe. Like I
He's having a
said,
nice. He's having a great season.
maybe you just take some of the money you were giving Tobias Harris, making 36 million a year, give some of it to Oubre, and then give the leftovers to Tobias Harris. I don't know.
So what are we doing here? Are we gonna do one move or promising future?
Dude, I feel like this team could be a top seed. Dude, would they still have Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey? And they're an eighth
Oh, I
seed.
didn't mean to say promising future.
They're an eighth seed right now without Embiid. Like, and like I said, look at the rest of these teams in the East. They might be a top seed, bro. they 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 like, bro. Once Milwaukee falls off, who's really the number two behind them? Obviously, we have the Pacers and the Knicks there, but like with Embiid, when like a
We're
revamp.
forgetting the Cavs.
Okay, and the Cavs. Like I said, like I said, I was about to put the Cavs in top seed. I was
Oh
thinking
no.
about it. I've been thinking about it this whole time because I kept looking like, where's the East? I was about to put them up there.
That's why I was looking at the West and I'm like, oh, we had three West teams in the top
That's
seed for a long
that's what
time.
I'm saying. Somebody's gonna be the
Mhm.
number two team behind the Celtics.
I'm still saying one move away. I feel like there should be a change within the Cavs,
I'm fine putting the
and
Cavs there, but that's why I
but
was saying
it's
the Sixers. The Sixers are more set than, are like they have the chance. Like they'll sign people. Like they're not like I don't think it's gonna be that hard to get a team. Like I don't think it shouldn't be that hard to say, "Yo, we got Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid. Like just be a good role player and we might win a championship." Like that's all the pitch has to be. And we have all the cap room because we have no one else on our team. I
the
feel like
only okay. The only other thing that's gonna bring me down to it is: are we gonna believe? Are we gonna trust in the process of Joel Embiid staying healthy for a whole season? He's been injured like every year.
I believe. I don't like I'll say like I said, even without him, even without him, the team was good enough to be an eighth seed. Literally he just has to play and this team is guaranteed top three seed.
But that's because they have their team right now. So next season, if he
Bro,
gets
they
injured,
they have so much money. They could bring everybody back. There's no the only thing is like if they just want to go somewhere else. Like they have
okay,
all the money in the world if they want to keep them. If they could keep
send
them,
them to the top seed.
bro, I'm
I know
just
you've
saying,
been trying to convince me. I'm like, damn, I don't know.
bro, I'm just saying,
Injured.
bro, look at these teams. I'm just telling you to look at these teams. I'm just telling you. Look at who else is who there's going to be someone behind the Celtics. It's either them or the Cavs. It's either them or the Cavs. There's no one. Like I don't know what else. I don't know what
Oh yeah,
else.
there's no other team left over.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And I believe in Embiid more than I believe in the Cavs core. Personally,
Okay, I mean,
personally,
you know ball. I know
oh,
ball.
we both
I
know ball.
believe in you.
Now we can hate again. We can hate again. Phoenix Suns.
Oh,
Ah,
hold on. Ready to hate.
they have no picks and everyone's old. They have no picks and everyone's old.
That's what the tier should have been called. Boomer bust. This is literally all these teams.
Sure, we do that. And the Wizards. The
Uh
Wizards
oh.
are the Wizards in uh-oh? Are the Wizards in uh-oh? Hold on. Oh fuck.
They got picks. They got picks.
They do have picks, and they're all protected. Ugh. But who's there? I mean, oh god.
It's just
Okay,
it
here's the
doesn't feel
problem.
right.
Here's the bigger problem. Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma are still signed for 3 more years, and they're both taking up like. And Kuzma's gonna be taking 20 million space, and Jordan Poole's gonna be taking three. Like it's it's kind of an uh-oh because they don't have. I mean, they have picks, but like it's not. They don't have like a lot of picks. Like
They have a couple of
they
picks.
just have their own, and that's still good. But it's like there's no one on this team that's like
Yeah.
what you hear. They have to be good. They
Um.
have to be good. They have Victor.
Well, I
They have
can't
to
say that
be.
too.
They have to be.
The Hornets have a better record than the Spurs by one.
I know. I don't know how. I don't know why. How are this? How did the? How did the
By one.
fucking? How did by one? Okay, we're not doing that. Then.
What?
By one.
Lamelo's injured.
It's true. Bro, I'll just say, how long is Wemby gonna be on a losing team? Like, how long is this really gonna be a thing? Like, they're gonna have picks.
Till they find good point
They're gonna
guards.
have a lot of picks. Like, I think their future is definitely brighter than theirs. Talking about the future. If
Um,
we're talking about the future, shit. If we're
if
talking
we're
about the
talking about the
future,
future, Spurs definitely on top. But if we're talking about like next year and 2 years, it's
I would still take. I would definitely still take the Spurs over the Hornets at least. I was because they have a
next.
fuck ton of picks. The
Well, in
Spurs,
the East,
they actually have a
anything
lot
can
of
happen
picks.
in the East.
Like that's true. I was like the Spurs have like they have Atlanta, they have Toronto, they have they have like they have a whole bunch of options or ways to get more picks. But here we go. This is the It's how hopeful we are for the future. We are warming up, passing time for the playoffs.
Before you cut us off, I want to shout out SDSU for making it into the Sweet
Yup,
16,
yup, yup.
and I hope we win whatever the name for number 8 is.
The Elite Eight.
Elite Eight, there you go. And then Final Four
Yup.
and the final round, whatever the name is after that.
All right. This has been the Hooper Soul Podcast. Back from the Philippines edition.
Back from the Philippines
Hey, we
edition.
hadn't potted in a while, bro. We had to get the pot out. We had to get our juices flowing, bro. We had to get back in the groove.
Back in action, baby.
This is us coming back from injury. This is us this is us getting in our rhythm, getting back in some game time. Uh will I have a mustache next time? Who knows? We'll see. But I'm Jacob with my
And
host.
I'm PJ.
This has been the Hooper Soul Podcast. We'll see you all next time. Hit subscribe, comment, make your predictions for playoffs, and we will see you next time. Peace out.
Peace.